The afternoon sun hung lazily over the suburban streets, casting golden light on the quiet neighborhood. Jaylen Brooks, 17, pushed off with his skateboard, gliding down the smooth sidewalks with a rhythm that matched the music blasting through his earbuds. The guitar riff of his favorite song filled his mind, and for a moment, he forgot the world's expectations, its fears, and its dangers. Today, he thought, was just an ordinary day. School had been challenging lately, but he had pushed through. His grades were steadily improving, and for once, he felt like he was finally gaining control over his life. His mother, Vanessa Brooks, had always been his guide, a figure of strength and wisdom. She taught him how to navigate the world as a black teenager, to remain calm in the face of authority, and to protect his dignity no matter what. Those lessons had been ingrained deeply into him, but nothing could prepare him for what would happen on this quiet suburban street. Jaylen rounded the corner near his house, the familiar row of parked cars reflecting the soft glow of the sun. He noticed a car behind him, moving slowly. At first, he didn't pay much attention. People drove slowly here all the time. But this car stayed close, too close, almost as if it were tracking his every movement. Then the lights flashed, red and blue, blinding. Suddenly, the carefree afternoon turned into tension, fear, and uncertainty. "Hey, stop right there," the voice barked. Jaylen skidded to a halt, his skateboard bouncing off the curb. Heart hammering, he raised his hands instinctively. "Hands on the board. Step off and come here," the officer commanded, the authority in his voice bordering on aggression. "May I ask why?" Jaylen said calmly, though the fear beneath his calm was thick and real. The officer didn't answer. He stepped closer, flashlight slicing through the sunlight, sweeping over Jaylen's backpack, his sneakers, even his posture. "You fit the description of someone causing trouble in this area. Now move it." Jaylen exhaled slowly, recalling his mother's advice. "Stay calm. Don't escalate. Speak only when necessary." He stepped off the skateboard, keeping his hands visible and his body composed. The officer circled him, his gaze sharp. "Where are you coming from?" "School," Jaylen replied evenly. "I'm heading home." "And where do you live?" "Maple Street." "Right there," he said, pointing without turning his back to the officer. "Who are you with? Friends? Family?" "My mom." "She's at home," Jaylen said, his voice steady. The officer's smirk didn't reach his eyes. "Just a kid," he muttered. "You kids always think you can do whatever you want." Jaylen's stomach twisted. He was just a kid, but to this officer he was a suspicion, a threat, an object to control. The weight of being a black teen in a world quick to judge him pressed heavily on his chest. Minutes passed like hours. The officer's questions grew sharper. "What's in your backpack? Who are you meeting? What are you doing here?" "Nothing," Jaylen said evenly, keeping his tone calm. "Don't lie to me. Kids your age always lie," the officer said, leaning closer. Jaylen's hands trembled slightly, though he forced them still. He thought of his mother again. Breathe. Don't give him a reason. Protect yourself. It was then that a car door clicked open behind him. A voice, calm yet commanding, pierced the tension. "Jaylen." Both the officer and Jaylen turned. A sleek black sedan had pulled to the curb. From it stepped Vanessa Brooks, Jaylen's mother. She was the embodiment of poise and authority, her navy-tailored suit sharp, heels clicking against the pavement. Her leather briefcase gleamed subtly, the golden seal catching the sunlight. The officer straightened. "This is official police business," he said. "Step back, ma'am." Vanessa didn't move. She approached slowly, deliberately, her gaze unyielding. She opened her briefcase and held it up, revealing her credentials. "Judge Vanessa Brooks," she said firmly, "and you are unlawfully detaining my son." The officer's face paled. His words faltered. I didn't." "You didn't what?" Vanessa's voice cut through the tension like a gavel strike. "You didn't care to ask. You harassed my son based on suspicion alone. That ends now." Neighbors peeked from windows, some stepping onto their porches. Phones were raised, recording every moment. Jaylen felt relief wash over him under his mother's protective presence. "Return his belongings and step away," Vanessa commanded. Immediately, the officer fumbled, hesitated, and finally complied. His authority was gone, replaced by fear and shame. The stares of the crowd reminded him that every action had consequences. Jaylen exhaled, lowering his hands. He turned to his mother. "Thank you," he whispered. Vanessa placed a hand on his shoulder. "Let's go home," she said. "Everything else can wait until tomorrow." They walked to her car, a quiet but powerful presence surrounding them. Jaylen climbed in, skateboard tucked beside him. He watched as the officer slowly retreated to his cruiser, the lesson etched deeply in his mind. The drive home was quiet. Jaylen stared out the window, reflecting on the afternoon. He realized that justice wasn't only found in courtrooms or gavel strikes. Sometimes it came in the form of love, protection, and courage from those who refused to stand by. When they arrived, the house was alive with warmth. His younger siblings ran to greet him, laughter filling the rooms. Vanessa joined the hug, her smile soft yet commanding. "That officer will be held accountable," she said gently but firmly. "Nothing like that will happen again." Jaylen knelt on the floor, hugging his siblings tightly. The balloons from earlier bobbed around the room, a reminder of the ordinary day that almost turned into something tragic. He looked at his mother and felt the weight of the lesson she had shown him. Strength, courage, and justice can sometimes arrive in the most personal way. The evening passed quietly. Dinner, stories, laughter, and the warmth of family enveloped them. Jaylen knew that the fear of the afternoon would fade, but the lesson would last a lifetime. He was no longer just a teenager facing authority. He was a son who had witnessed justice firsthand, a young man who understood the power of presence, the importance of courage, and the unwavering strength of family. Even the officer would remember this day, the fear, the power shift, the lesson in accountability. And for Jaylen, it was a story of survival, resilience, and love. As the night settled over the neighborhood, Jaylen realized something profound. Fear is real, danger is present, but courage, protection, and justice, sometimes delivered by the people who love us most, can tip the scales. This day would remain etched in his mind forever, not as a moment of helplessness, but as a moment of empowerment. If you love this story, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel.